Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and today we're here for a brand new sim on the channel. Now for those of you that have been a bit interested in GT3 racing or sort of endurance racing in general, you may have heard of Assetto Corsa Competizione. I was fortunate enough to receive the game a little bit early so I could make a few videos for you guys. Now for those of you that know, I am a huge fan of the Assetto Corsa series, obviously the normal version of Assetto Corsa, as well as obviously, I've played it on PC, I've also got it on Xbox as well. I'm a big fan of the sims that these guys do make. But yeah, today we're here for a brand new video on their new sim. A huge thank you to both Kunos, who obviously make this game, as well as to Thrustmaster for sending me out a copy of this game early, so obviously I can make a few videos for you guys. As you can see, using my trusty Thrustmaster wheel, obviously, as I always do whenever I do any of these videos. But yeah, hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy this video. If you're new around here as well and you do want to see sort of more videos from Assetto Corsa Competizione, as you can see currently I've got the early access roadmap on your screen, so I will be trying to cover every single sort of one of these updates over the next coming months, obviously between now and February, then obviously when the full game does eventually drop after that. So obviously make sure you are subscribed for that, as well as the fact we are now, I think, around 300 subscribers away from 10,000 as well, which is obviously massively appreciated. But today, obviously, for the very first sort of race as such on this new sim, I will be driving the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car around the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. So really looking forward to this. I'm a huge Lamborghini fan. It is probably my favourite GT3 car on the whole, and obviously I'm a huge I've sort of forgot how big of a fan I am of the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit as well. So hopefully, today we're going to have a look into this game, into this track, my very first drive of Assetto Corsa Competizione. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So here we are then at Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit in the fantastic Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car. Really looking forward to my very first drive in this game. I'm going to be doing the hot stint mode for this very first video, which is sort of like, for me obviously it won't be pushing all too much, I sort of just want to get to grips with this sim, see how it handles everything like that as well. But yeah, for me, it's effectively, I think it's a 10-minute session where obviously you just got to try and drive as quickly as you possibly can normally. As I said, for me I won't be pushing all too much just to begin with, but I'm really looking forward to driving on this sim on the whole. As you can see, a couple of little features at the top of your screen as well, so just talking about the sim. So as you can see, just our engineer, they're telling us to be fast, but don't push it over the limit. We're just simply doing a bit of warm up ready on this as well. But I must say straight away, the graphics are absolutely phenomenal. This is something that a lot of sims sort of forget about, and obviously generally because quite a few of them are a bit older. But the graphics nowadays are really important for a huge amount of people, myself included, on the whole. As we break that down towards the first one, see the first chicane, the second chicane. Really, it depends what you really sort of count as a chicane, but coming down the hill here. We are going to do my first flying lap. I'm just going to give you guys the audio from this car, and obviously audio, and obviously just so you can absorb all the visuals as well, because, well, they need to be appreciated on this sim. It is absolutely stunning on the whole. Well, words cannot describe how good this sim looks. Through the Schumacher race for the very first time, as you can see the gravel very close to the track. They've got to be very careful around that. Breaking that down towards the final sector of the lap. As I said, this is a completely stock setup, no changes with that or anything. I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the quickest in sims, by any stretch of the imagination. I do want to get into more simulators, and obviously this is certainly one of them. But yeah, hopefully, I wouldn't like to think my driving is all too bad either, so hopefully you guys enjoy this first hot lap here. As I said, we're going to be running just audio and gameplay for this very first flying lap here. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Stay focused. Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap. Brother mate, this has been your personal best.
So there we are then. Not the best lap in the world, I will admit, but hopefully, you know, it was still decent overall, I'd like to think. But yeah, so we're gonna sort of just run through again. Sort of now just talk about this sim. Now, I did say I would be making a sort of should you buy it sort of video after the first beta review, but at the moment it's looking very, very good. Now, obviously there will be issues. It's the very first build of this game that is available to the public. You know, it's not going to be perfect. This is sort of their Assetto's whole thing. They want to try and get the game to be ready, and the best way to do that is obviously have, you know, human influence, have people like you or I that are playing the game as well. Which is obviously the best way to do it, in my personal opinion. You know, a lot of companies sort of do want to do this more and more nowadays, as well as obviously it does give you full access to the game once it does fully release as well, which is obviously an extra bonus as well. But yeah, one thing though, my first thing I'd like to talk about that I noticed in this sim is the attention to detail. Now obviously you'd expect that in a sim, but it's not just in sort of like the track, it's the track, the atmosphere, and also the audio. Now, I'm quite an audio-based driver on the whole, I'd like to think. You know, I usually can drive a car better, sort of the more hearing info I can get from it on the whole, which is obviously why I'm quite a big fan of this sim straight off the bat. You know, there are so many things you will have noticed on that lap, and so many little minute details you just hear, which are absolutely, you know, critical for those of you that want to try and improve. Well, obviously, if you drive like myself. Now, obviously, things like that include, obviously, the tyres, the engine, the brakes, even just the other little sort of things like the old sort of squeaks and things that come from the car. And, well, obviously, I've never driven a race car in real life. I have been in a couple in the past. I went in an old Aussie V8 car, which is slightly different to a Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car. I will put my hands up and admit that. But it is still very, you know, it's those little fine pieces of detail that really, really do make the difference in these sorts of sims and things. And this is why, so far, you know, a lot of people, there's always that fine balance in sort of driving games and sims between, obviously, as many cars as you can, as many tracks as you can, as much content as you can. And then also, obviously, on the other hand, having the really, really sort of high detail cars and tracks and sims. And obviously, on a sim sort of based like this, where obviously it's an official Blockpan game, you'd expect, well, obviously, you know, it's got everything from Blockpan that you'd expect, but it's all really, really detailed. I think that is one of the most important things on the whole in this sim. You know, it's detailed. It's those fine little things that if you can come out, obviously, in the first build like this, and instantly have a very, very strong game in that sense, it's going to be a lot easier to try and sort of build upon that, you know, focus on the little things that are wrong, rather than, for example, having to do a whole graphics overhaul later on down the line, or anything like that, you know, those sorts of things on the whole. Sorry, just excuse me there, I was just disabling the in-game music as well, obviously, where I'm trying to... Oh, well, it seems like, you know, talking about sound, I probably want to hear the car more than anything else, but it's the sound and the details on this game. You know, it's those little things that really, really are so, so impressive. Even, you know, from a first build of this sim, I would... If, you know, if you're someone like that that wants that sort of precision in a sim, you know, well, a simulator is designed to be accurate. That's sort of the point. That's sort of what sim means on the whole. And when you've got that level of detail, it really, really is. Now, there's other little things that I also wanted to talk about from this game, you know. Look at the top right hand side of your screens, for example. You can see we've got a car control assessment at the moment. Now, it's basically, in simple terms, telling you where you're driving well and where you're not driving so well. So obviously, for example, in turn 1, I was given quite an aggressive rating. Through turn 2, I was given a way too hard rating. Now, I'll try and smoothen my driving style down just a bit. Way too hard through that one, but through turn 4, are we going to get a good one? Yes, we do. Well, quite aggressive once more then. Now, that is one thing that obviously a lot of sims don't sort of try to teach you. It's been quite a while since we've had a sim that sort of taught you about how to drive sort of quickly and consistency. And that is one thing I think Assetto Corsa Competizione can really, really help on you know, on the whole. It's designed to make you a better simulator driver, and I can tell that from playing this game for what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes on the whole, and it's really, really impressive that they've sort of taken a new stance on the simulator game. And obviously, we've had a look at the roadmap at the start of this video. You know, we know what they're going to be trying to focus on through each individual update on this sim, and so far I am really, really impressed. But I think what we're going to do now is we're going to try and do a couple of sort of attacking laps again in this Lamborghini. You know, focus on what these sims are designed for. You know, solely, you know, they can try to teach you how to drive and everything, but let's focus on the white knuckle riding here. We got the, I think, just enough time to do 2 more laps around this Nürburgring GP circuit. I do know the game just instantly, as soon as the time runs out, your runs do unfortunately stop there. Oh, that's my first crash. Well, I say crash on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Very, very lucky that we didn't go a bit further down there and hit the wall. So it's not forgiving as well. I think it's, obviously we've both now seen that. And it's going to be tight that I'm going to be able to get 2 laps in here. Yeah, let's go then. In the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car, obviously got the magnificent sounding engine in the back. Breakdown at 100 meter board in towards 1, trying to get the car nice and right onto the apex. So short shift through in towards second, and all the traction control bogging the car down all too much here as we now come through turn 2 and turn 3, trying to use up all of the track space here. Get the car, try and slow it down in a straight line here, and then try to make your run through turn 4 as wide as possible. Then don't quite get the run onto the curb on the inside, that we use all the track space on the exits. We come now down in towards this first downhill section here. The gravity really works against you as you come down through this part of the track, obviously just trying to pull you forward and then get back on to this straight, and well, gravity once again is in your favour. Down the hill now, picking up all the way up into 5th gear here, 230 kilometres an hour nearly. Braking now down, that's what, about 140 miles an hour, just over. Coming down into the hairpin there. Now out of the hairpin, you can try and go for a bit of a double apex through there, in towards the Schumacher. It's a very, very difficult corner to try and get right. Just want to try and thread the needle between the curbs and the gravel trucks there. Unfortunately, that time round, I was able to do so. Braking now just before the 100 meter ball there. Clip the curb on the inside. Use all of the curb on the outside there. Try and give yourself the widest run through the corner. And now out on to the back straight here. Downhill once again. Obviously the car will help you sort of get quicker and quicker here, pulling up towards sort of 230, 240 kilometres an hour here as we come up in towards the final game here. 241 kilometres as you brake now back down in towards third gear there. Clip the curb. Very, very lucky. Unfortunately, I got on the brakes just in time. Now that could have been another quite scary crash as we come through the final chicane. Now stamp back onto the throttle, out of the final corner, cycle back up through the gears. It's going to be a 1 minute 58.7 there, so it's going to be very, very tight. Whether we're going to be able to get this one final run finish there. Once again, down, braking just at the 100 meter board there. Try to use the engine brake just a bit as well. Clip the apex, drop the car through T1, and once more just coming through these next couple of corners. Got to be very, very tentative on the throttle. Got patience. Patience is key around the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. You know, there's a lot of times where you sort of just find yourself on half throttle, or just knowing that you shouldn't get on there just yet. I think it was Jackie Stewart used to say there should be no point on a Formula 1 track where you're not braking or accelerating. You shouldn't be accelerating knowing you'll have to brake again within the same corner here. Now down the hill once more here. Really, really struggled trying to get the car slowed down into that corner there. Run a little bit wide on the exit. Have to bail out the throttle a little bit more than I would have liked it. Down the hill once again, all the way up into 5th gear here. Try and brake as late as you possibly can into the hairpin here. Can try and go for a bit of a double apex. Unfortunately, just the front end really sort of went away from me there, as these tyres obviously have been pushed to the limit for quite a bit over the course of this stint. Through the Schumacher S once more. Oh, just running ever so slightly wide into the gravel truck. That's going to cost me a little bit of time as well. I'm going to try and brake nice and late around 130 metres before these next couple of corners here. Try to use the curb on the outside there. Try to click the curb on the inside onto the back straight here. Getting much better run. They're able to last time out onto the boards, the back straight here. Now down through the kink. Obviously not even really a corner, especially in a GT3 car here. A lot of aerodynamics on this car. Now brake just between the 100 metre board and the 50 metre board. Around about 75-80 metres there. Attack the curbs through the final chicane here. Brake nice and tidily in towards the hairpin. Just want to hold it nice and tidily on the apex. So avoid the pit wall on the inside. Stamp the throttle out of the final corner and down towards the line. We are just going to be able to get that lap in there. And there we are then. That has been my first ever go in Assetto Corsa Competizione. As I said, I will be sort of making another video talking about the first, version of this sim as well. But there we are then. That was, well, that was certainly exhilarating. I will safely say that. But there we are then. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I tried to sort of give you some different aspects. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with one car and track on this sim, but what a car and track combo it really, really is, and especially I have high hopes for Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now, once again, a huge thank you to both Kunos and also to Thrustmaster once again for giving me this game a couple of days early so I could try and make a couple of videos for you guys. But as I said, hopefully you have enjoyed. Make sure you do like and subscribe if you're new around here as well, and you want to see more Assetto Corsa Competizione content coming to the channel over the next few weeks. But I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.